All accounts, if you are watching the news and if you're listening to any financial advisors, they are all saying that, of course, we're in a recession, which I've been saying for months now. But they're all saying that this is staggering, like Great Depression era. And I found it very interesting that Jupiter is about to retrograde and is retrograding in Capricorn. And the last time that happened that really adversely affected us when Jupiter was in Capricorn was during the subprime mortgage crisis, which was about 2008 when everyone started going into foreclosure. And a lot of people never even recovered from that. So we are definitely about to hit survival mode in case you haven't figured that out. So I'm going to be talking about these type of things, what you can do to kind of get ahead and keep your family going without losing too much. Hello guys, it's Miss Coconut. How are you doing? I'm doing well. So listen, I'm locked out of Facebook because I was trolling one of my friends and Facebook didn't like what I was saying. So anyway, on my community tab on YouTube, I'm having a lunch giveaway. That's right. I'm going to give you some lunch money. So go drop your cash apps down below on the community tab where you see the little post that says lunch money. That's my thank you to y'all faithful subscribers, all 20 of y'all. I appreciate you. So one of y'all is going to have a fabulous lunch on me. Today we're talking about money. So I have some money tips for you, okay? So it's not on the magical side, it's more on the practical side. But remember, I'm going to be talking about money in totality. So from a spiritual aspect sometimes, or a physical aspect sometime, or material aspect, okay? So I noticed the other day that one of my friends was shopping online, and this is the price of chicken these days. Can you believe it? You're paying almost triple the amount that you would normally pay for a whole chicken. And now you're going to see the hyperinflation occur in this market, right? The plants are shutting down. They're not producing as much fake meat as they used to. Because y'all can't tell me we have this many chickens in the world. Where do all these chickens come from? Have you ever thought about that? Anywho, meat is going to be scarce. In fact, when I went to the store the other day, I saw a sign that said you could only buy one. And it was like a package of beef. So one good thing about going vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian is eliminating the need to have meat in every meal, which is not a bad thing because meat is, fatty. It clogs your heart. It clogs your system. It's more expensive. They shoot it up with so many preservatives and poisons that's giving you extra weight and health issues. So it's not a bad idea to actually just omit meat from some of your meals. And that's a great way to save money. One of the scariest things that you're seeing occur in this crisis is the fact that a lot of people can't pay their bills, especially their rent or mortgage. So there's a whole movement trying to get started where they're trying to get the public rallied around don't pay your rent. And while that may sound great on one end, it's not so great for the landlords. A lot of the landlords, they own like one property. They may live on the property. They're not rich. That's just additional income for them. That's to help them meet their bills. But for them not to receive rent from their tenants is detrimental, okay? So you're going to see a lot of people trying to work out payment plans with their landlords. But one thing I want to caution you, if you have a mortgage and you see that your mortgage company is offering forbearance, be very careful. Because some mortgage companies, they will defer your payments to the end of the loan, but some mortgage companies are only deferring payments for 3 months. And that means at the end of the 3-month period, you're going to end up owing 4 months all at once, sort of like a balloon payment. Read the fine print, ask questions before you sign on that dotted line. It may not be what you think it is. You may be thinking about how to restructure your debt. Maybe you want to start paying all your bills off, paying your bills down. Well, you have to be careful about this because at this time, some of the lenders are actually decreasing credit limits, okay? Because they know when times get rough in a crisis, people start using their credit and maxing it out and exhausting the credit. So what they will do is start decreasing your lines, making less credit available to you. So you want to be careful about trying to pay off your credit cards at this time. That's really not what you want to do. You kind of want to hold this money to live off of, especially for those who are running out of funds. So be careful. Don't take my advice, but do some research into what I'm saying. Speaking of credit, we all have time right now. And one of the things we should be doing is getting our credit in order. So there may be some accounts on your credit report that have been sent to collections. Well, this is a great time to dispute all of that. In fact, if you search in YouTube, you'll see a whole bunch of videos come up that talk about why you should not pay your collections account. I know. You probably think that's crazy. I'm telling you not to pay these bills, but by the time a collection agency contacts you, the original debtor has sold that debt to them, okay? But you didn't contract the debt with the collection agency. You can actually dispute these items, especially if they've been on your account, your credit report for a long time. You can have that stuff taken off and you don't have to pay anybody. You can do it yourself. So once again, don't take my word for it. Just YouTube. You'll see the information is out there. Many reasons why you should not pay those collection debtors, especially at this time. So many big heavy hitters pulling out of the stock market. It can be really tricky and scary as to whether you should delve into it at this time. As you know, investing in the stock market is risky. There's no guarantee. So once you buy that stock, you're kind of out of luck if it doesn't do well and perform well. So you have to do your due diligence. Well, a lot of people are saying, though, even though Warren Buffett did pull out of like the airline industry, he's saying basically the airline industry will not recover to the same degree that it once was because people understand now they don't have to travel to do meetings, right? They can take, staycations. So the need to travel will decrease in the foreseeable future. And because he's invested heavily, he may have pulled that money out to invest somewhere else. We don't know. But if you are a long-term investor, meaning if you want to get into the stock market for the long term, meaning 10 years, this is a great time to buy. Okay? No one has a magic wand. Well, some people do. They do. Because they're writing the whole thing, right? It's basically like they've written the whole grimoire out. But anyway, most of us don't have a magic wand. So if you want to start now investing in stocks that you think may have a good run over the next 5 to 10 years, this is the time to do so. As always, use caution and only invest what you can afford to lose. Did you know there's something called PUA, which is Pandemic Unemployment Insurance? And in some places, they are offering you at least $600 a week. Make sure you are finding out what you qualify. There is sometimes a stipulation where you have to apply for your unemployment from your state first, get denied, and then get the PUA. And in other cases, as long as you apply, you automatically get the PUA. Well, you have time to research it. So get familiar with what your state is offering and go for those benefits. Last tip today is regarding the Paycheck Protection Plan that the government was issuing. A lot of people didn't realize, as an independent contractor, as a self-employed person, you may say, I don't have employees. Well, you are the employee. And maybe if your wife or your husband helps you in your side business, you can count them as an employee. So find out the rules of these types of grants, loans, and programs, and see if you can apply and get that free money, okay? A lot of people thought it was just for big businesses, but that's not true. You have to start listening to all of these gurus talk about this information, because this is how people get wealthy. Can you imagine if you claim yourself as an employee and your spouse is an employee? That's potentially $2,000 that you could have received. Okay, so again, we have time to figure out what the language is saying, how I can reconstruct my life so that I too can get ahead, okay? Because they know how to speak the language. And that's why when these programs come out, they snap them up. So you may have thought, well, I'm not a big corporation, I don't qualify. Yes, you do. If you're an independent contractor with a 1099, self-employed, you qualify. Again, don't take my word for it. Do your due diligence. Well, that's my time for today. I appreciate you spending time with me. And as always, Om Shrim Brezi.